And now, Legal Perspective with Nick Clekis.
New school year, new roommates, and for many students, a brand new lease. Renting an apartment, especially in college, can be a legal minefield. Joining us with smart tips for first-time renters is Nick Clekis, owner of Clekis Law Firm. Nick, great to have you here with us on this beautiful Tuesday.
Thanks.
So when I first moved to Charleston, I noticed it's a very college town, especially downtown. So what are some common pitfalls you see with first-time renters, students, young adults?
Well, a lot of stuff, but I mean, one of the big problems is some landlords won't let you separate out roommate situations. So you go to rent a place with your buddies, and they want to put everybody on one lease and commingle the money, and then you got one roommate that moves out during the semester or doesn't pay rent, you're on the hook. So theoretically, if you could get your own contract with the landlord so that it's your money, your deal, and if somebody else doesn't pay, that's between him and them, not the group.
Okay, so that's something, because I feel like here a lot of students downtown are renting homes rather than having, the student living where they automatically separate. So that's something we should always ask.
Right.
Okay. What about security deposits?
That's a big deal, both paying it and getting it back. So when you move into the apartment, you probably ought to take some photographs or a video, show the condition of the apartment, give your security deposit that he is supposed to hold, in total, and then when you move out, if you provide a forwarding address and the keys, they're to return that within 30 days or provide you with an itemization as to why they did not, with specific reasons. And one trick that all landlords do is they go, oh, well, it really needed a professional cleaning and you have to pay for that. Well, the statute just says leave it in a broom swept condition.
Okay.
That's all you got to do. So take photos on the way out. Normal wear and tear is accepted. So, they should return your security deposit. If they do not,
what happens?
treble damages, 3 times the amount.
3 times?
Right. So if you've got a $2,000 security deposit, you could theoretically get $6,000 back plus attorney's fees and costs. That can turn into a real problem with landlords if they want to play the game and they don't have justification.
Okay, good to know. Another thing that I feel like is probably could be a common issue if someone has, a live-in boyfriend or girlfriend who isn't on the lease but is, sleeps there all the time, or what are some issues that you see arise with that?
Yeah, so, you can't really sublet your apartment, whether you're charging them or not. You can't have somebody living there full time. And in a, shared roommate situation, sometimes it's unfair to them. Hey, he's here, he's using the shower, the AC, we're paying utilities, he's eating the food, or she, whatever. So that can become an issue. If the landlord finds out that you've got somebody that's living there that's not on the lease, that can become an issue as well. So.
Okay.
Some leases build into it that anybody staying more than 3 nights in a row is considered a tenant, blah, 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 so you just have to be careful.
Okay, so that could mess up the relationship between the roommates, but also it could really mess you up from a legal side as well.
That's correct.
As far as maintenance and repairs go, who is responsible? Is that landlord mostly, or some stuff the tenant's responsible for?
Yeah, so the Landlord-Tenant Act actually spells out landlord obligations, tenant obligations, and then the lease may drill it down further as far as specifics go. But I mean, of course, the landlord's required to provide all the big things: heat, air, running water, lights, all that stuff. And then it may spell out tenant to repair minor things less than $100, light bulbs or minor toilet repair or things like that. But if it's a major deal like the roof or the AC unit, that's the landlord.
Yeah.
But you got to put everything in writing, because if you just call the landlord and go, hey, the plumbing's not working, and he doesn't do anything, you don't really have recourse. So if you put it in writing, he has 15 days from the date you notify him to commence repairs.
Okay. A phone call does not hold up in court.
It does not, and we're not a repair and deduct state, so you can't just say, well, then I'm going to fix it and take it out of the rent. You're not allowed to do that either, so it becomes a problem.
How does access work?
Access is another problem. They're not supposed to enter your apartment unless it's an emergency. They give you 24 hours notice, but there are exceptions, such as regularly scheduled, like bug spraying and things like that. They're supposed to come between 9 and 6. They should tell you in advance, if you're home sick that day, or you're in the shower or something. You don't want them just coming in. So they should not abuse that, but it cannot be unreasonably withheld either.
So what I've gathered is document everything, take photos, phone calls don't hold up in court, make sure everything's in writing. Is there anything else? Any other advice?
Yes, if you get into trouble.
843-900000000, Clekis.com is where you can go. And Nick, always a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Great, thanks.
We're back in 2 minutes.
This has been Legal Perspective with Nick Clekis.